Mysterious pneumonia outbreak in Wuhan, China.
A new type of coronavirus.
The number of affected countries has tripled.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
How resilient are Nigerian businesses in the face of the pandemic and recession that it has caused in Africa's largest economy?
It's been a difficult period for Nigerian health workers as well as others globally since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic.
2020 was an unexpected year for a lot of people. Tens of millions of people stood at risk of falling into extreme poverty.
2020 was an interesting year for every single person. I mean, it was a global phenomenon. We all had to live through the pandemic, and even more interesting for me because I had a baby. But I think that if any year really taught me how to be an investor, it was the year 2020.
On the back of this crisis was a strange phenomenon. More billionaires were created. Basically, the rich got richer.
In the year of the pandemic, 2020, there was a lot going on. It was sort of like crisis mode on a global scale, right? Countries were going through a lot of, at the same time, tough situations in health. People were dying, people were on lockdowns, businesses were losing income. And, that was the last thing you'd be thinking about investing. But then I just happened to get into a conversation with my mentor, and I really value all of my mentors. I do not play with them at all. And we just got into this conversation about the stock market, and I was saying that I don't really think that it's a good time for anybody to be thinking about investing. Maybe this is the time for everyone to play safe. And he says, no, Tommy, on the contrary, this is the time for you to be investing because there are so many opportunities that are just waiting for those that are prepared. We had a masterclass with Mr. Augusto at the time where he really taught us about the right position in the stock market. It was in March 2020 or April 2020. And we had the masterclass, and based on all of the knowledge and all of the lessons we learned from that masterclass, a couple of us decided that now is the time. And we took position in the stock market, the Nigerian stock market, and we took position in the US stock market. We took positions in different sectors. And honestly, I think that as an investor, not just for me, my family, my community, 2020 was the year we earned the most in terms of returns ever. It was such an extraordinary year. I did a couple of YouTube videos about this, sharing about how I earned, remarkable income in the Nigerian stock market, took advantage of opportunities in the real estate market, invested in Euro bonds. The US stock market was also an amazing year. It was such an extraordinary year. If you look at any investment companies' books, just check 2020 and you will see that it was the year of extraordinary income for a lot of companies. Why? That was because while the markets were plummeting and a lot of stock markets were, in crisis mode, that was the time to buy up good companies at a good price. Good companies were selling at a discount. Great assets were selling at a discount. So anyone who got in at that time was bound to make remarkable profit on a rebound. 2020 was an amazing year.
Nigerian.
As a millennial young person, we do have hopes and dreams and aspirations for our country. We want Nigeria to be the country of our dreams. We want leadership that is responsible. We want to be able to, go on the streets, get in the car and not be stopped by the police authority or this group, SARS group. So definitely, we were all, part of the entire protests. We were totally in sync with the goal of the protest, which was to get the government to end SARS. And I was so proud. Honestly, I was so proud of the Nigerian youth. We stood up, right? We made our voices heard. We Sorosoke. And it was such a proud moment. Unfortunately, like you all know, the government responded and people lost their lives. And the aftermath of the protests, were, a lot of destruction of lives, of businesses and property. And again, it was a wake-up call. How do we respond to this, right? While we were seeing remarkable profits from our investing, it was also important that we show ourselves as responsible members of the society to help people that were going through a tough time. And we decided to become a community that would help other communities. And we thought, okay, let's create TGIC for good and let's get people to donate to this fund. So we created a fund. We got our partners and some members because I was very careful. It was a very sensitive time. So it wasn't something you just go out and say people should all, donate money. So I reached out to a couple of members. I reached out to a couple of partners, and we, created a 10 million naira fund. Right. So we asked for applications, and I was so impressed by More Care Pharmacy. She had all of our documentations, and it just shows you it's a typical story of the Nigerian SME or entrepreneur just trying to do something and do good and just have your life and business shattered. So it was a great opportunity to invest in her and just donate. It was a grant, really. We're not expecting any sort of returns.
When I got a mail from the Green Investment Club, I was overwhelmed. I was super grateful.
Just seeing the bounce back has been so inspiring for me, But then it became tough to do due diligence because there are a lot of businesses that are making claims in our application forms. And we thought, okay, we needed to partner with an organization that was already doing a lot of the due diligence checks. And so we reached out to Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, and we partnered with them to disburse the rest of the 9 million naira. I'm really proud of what we're able to achieve. And we intend to keep on doing this on an annual basis, TGIC for good. Because the year 2020 was such an extraordinary year, we came into 2021 thinking about how we can showcase a lot of the work we do in the Green Investment Club. So we decided to present a report. And that was what led to the report, The Money Moves by Today's Young Nigerian. We wanted to showcase how there was just a group of young Nigerians that are actually actively making investment decisions, actively learning about investment education, actively, just growing themselves in terms of their personal finances and investment portfolios. And that's what led to the TGIC Media Pally in April 2021. It was such a great opportunity to also have our partners come on board and share their experience working with us as investment partners.
I met Toby Balogun in 2019. It was at a very low point, I would say, of our business. We had grown so fast and so well, such that we had a huge demand for our facilities by salaried workers in Nigeria. We didn't have enough money to lend. And we came in contact with Tommy and the Green Investment Club. One of the things that really touched me so much was the effort she put in to carry out due diligence.
She comes.
She came physically, she spent quality time, and all I could see was somebody who cared for people behind her or people that she looked after. I was particularly touched by that. She didn't want people to invest in something that just was going to fly with the wind. She looked through our books, she spent quality time with us, and at the end of it, she saw that we were real. We were the real deal.
That's it.
In consumer lending. So we are at a point where our loan book value was about roughly about 250 million naira at that time. And fast forward from then till date, it's over 5 billion.
Please clap. That's a good place to clap.
We're talking just less than, from 2019 to date.
Yes.
And to a large extent, we had huge support from the Green Investment Club. So I'm ever so grateful for that.
Please clap some more.